Hey everybody, it's David W. Stock here. It's Business and Career Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. Uh, no, not my favorite day of the week. Not my favorite day of the week. But I've been sitting here for like the last half hour, just like getting wound up about this. And I'm, in a way, it's good that I'm doing these things one day a week because it forces me to look at it at least once a week. And last week when I came on here on Business and Career Tuesday, I said something to the effect of that this was the least favorite day for me, and I have a lot of pain in this area and all those kinds of things, right? And if you look at my wheel of life, it's kind of weird. It's on its side a little bit, but it looks like a heart. And the reason why it looks like a heart is because the part that's dented in is business and career. And the other parts are starting to come out a little bit, but business and career is a stuck point for me. And I am starting to understand why. I think that that I don't really believe that this deep down that this is possible. So how that came out is because yesterday in Step Up Challenge was talking about limiting beliefs, and so I wrote down the exercise, but I was like, I don't think I have any limiting beliefs anymore because I've smashed so many of them through doing this challenge. Um, I've had the ability to go on live video now without really being afraid to do it, and the cold showers and the sure why. But anyways, so a week later, after coming on here and saying that my business and career was the least favorite part of my world and the area that causes me the most pain, a week later that is still the case. And so I did say that I was going to do some affiliate marketing things last week, and as it's not that I didn't do anything, but as I was sort of going through that process again, I just, I don't know, I just had like a moment of, is this really, really me? Is this really me? Like, so it didn't feel very authentic to be doing it in the first place. And so, okay, so I didn't come on here just to bitch about it today. I got a couple tools that I'm going to use that are going to help me out. And I'm going to go through those with you. I hope you guys don't mind how real I am, because I told you guys at the beginning this was going to be real shit, right? But okay, so where do we go from here? It's the most painful area of my life, and it needs to be my favorite area. I need to come on here on a Tuesday before the end of this 90 days. I need to come on here on a Tuesday and say, this is my favorite day. This is the best day ever because it's Tuesday. And so that's going to happen. But how it's going to happen is I need a couple things. I need to be connected to why I'm doing this more, because that's where I'm getting stuck. I think it's partly the limiting belief, but the not being connected to the why enough is allowing me to just drop the ball on it, to avoid things, and to let it slide, and that's no longer tolerable. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've got two tools that are in front of me right now, and I have been working with them a little bit, so I'm gonna share them with you. The first one is, both of these come from Tony Robbins, by the way. And so the first one is a time management tool that Tony uses that keeps him moving forward all the time. And it's hard to imagine what the day of somebody like that looks like or has looked like over the last number of decades that he's been using this, but he's been incredibly productive, obviously. And so there's a focus and a drive in that I'm envious of a little bit. So I want to model that. So the tool that he uses for time management that he developed himself is called the rapid planning method. And so the rapid planning method, you can Google it if you want. He has some of the resources on his site there. You can probably find the worksheets and stuff like that, and or the workbook. But I don't know if, I think it's probably, like, for me, I don't think I even need that. All I need is a piece of paper and a pen, because this is how it works. The rapid planning method turns the sort of the goal setting process around. It turns it around, and it puts the focus on the why. And how it does that is you start with outcome, just like probably almost every other goal setting process. Where do you want to be? What's your goal? But then the next step is not how. The next step is not how. The how doesn't come into it yet. So first we set the goal. So for me, like my business goal, I have to replace my former income from my other business, from my oil and gas business. And I need to do that online, and I need to do it to be able to do it from home. I have, so it's a six-figure thing that needs to happen here. And so that's my goal. The next part of it is the why. So once you have your outcome, the reason why we don't go to how is because it sort of brings a lot of your limiting beliefs and your negativity into it when you go straight to how. But if you go to why, then you get connected to the force that's actually driving you in the first place. And so this is what it's all about. So I need to replace that income from my former business with this business and do it in a different way. And I need to do that because I need to be here for my family. So in my old business, in my oil and gas business, I had to go away. I had to leave town to go away to work, and it was like 6-7 hours away. And I would work for 10 days to 3 weeks kind of thing, and then I would come home for a period of time, and then I would go back to work, and it was kind of a back and forth thing. I can't do that anymore. That industry is in the tank right now, for one thing, so it's not like I can find work easily in that industry anyways. But even if I could, I can't be gone anymore. I have my 14-year-old daughter wants to move in with me and go to school here, and I have committed to support her in that. And how I'm going to support her in that is by being here. I have to be here. I can't just be like, well, I gotta go away for like 10 days, be back when I get back. That can't happen anymore. So I need to be here for her. I need to be here. I have other kids too that are, it's sort of a revolving door here with my kids here. So they just come and go, but they can't come if I'm not here. So I need to be here. I never, when I was in that business, I never worked 50% of the year away from home. Not ever. And so it was it was pretty tolerable that way, but I can't do that anymore. I can't go away for 30% of the year anymore. I can't do that. I need to be here. My mom lives at my house now. She has mobility issues with her hip and stuff, and so sometimes she needs a little bit of help with moving things around, or carrying things up and down the stairs and things like that. And so I'm getting to the point where I'm almost afraid to leave her alone now here. So I need to be here. I need to be here, and that's my why. I'm sorry, I've spent a lot of time on the why, but that's the most important part. That's the most important part of this whole thing. So once we've gone through that, and it's literally just on a piece of paper, and it's 3 columns. What's your goal? What's your why? And then the how comes after that. And now that you're connected in a deep and meaningful way to the why, the how is always available. It's available. It's once you open your mind up, it's amazing the resources that are inside there that you keep hidden with your limiting beliefs, and at least I do. And so the resources are in there, and if they're not in there, they're on the internet. Google's a marvelous thing. You can learn anything that you need to learn. You can find any bit of information that you need to find. And unless your goal is to, set up a planetary colony on Mars, or some outrageous, huge goal, I can promise you it's already been done. And so modeling is just finding someone who's done it and do what they did. That how part is always available. So the RPM method really opens things up, and it turns the whole goal setting process on its head that way. And so I'm going to work on changing some things around with my own goal setting sheets just because of that. And I'm going to use, especially in my business and career, I'm going to expand on this a little bit more even. And so I already brainstormed some ideas this morning. So I have been slacking on expanding the size of the group. So that's one thing. I haven't asked the group for support with my business and career at all. So like for just as a crowdsourcing sort of thing, like how do I do this? Can you guys help me out? Do you have ideas? Do you have, resources, those kinds of things that I can use? The reason why I need to get the group bigger is so that I can get Brian in here, and I think that'll be a massive turning point in a lot of ways for me, and I hope it will be for you too. And so there's all that, and then I don't really have like my packages set up as far as like if I was going to do group coaching or set up a mastermind or a one-on-one coaching package, like I'd be lost if somebody even came up to me and said, hey, I want you to provide this for me. Like I don't even have it, so how's that going to work? So I need to get those things set up. So that's already, just from this half-hour exercise here, that's completely changed my direction in what I was doing in my career and business, and it's keeping me focused on the things that are important, the most important things. So it's a great process. Okay, I want to share with you the other resource that I'm going to use today and this week to sort of get things started or restarted in my business and career. And again, it's a resource from Tony Robbins. It's on his website. I think I'm going to share the link for this one. So Tony has a program called Business Mastery, and inside Business Mastery, he teaches about the 7 forces of business mastery. And so this week I'm going to work with force 1, which is the business map. And I'm just going to go through the business map is a series of questions that leads you to some clarity in what it is that you do. And so the first question is, what business am I in? And so what business am I in is, when you ask someone what business they're in, they usually come up with something very general. And I did too the first time I read it. What business am I in? So I wrote down, I'm in the personal development space as a relationship and self-awareness coach. And then after I wrote that down, then I read question 1A, which is, what business am I really in? And so now you have to go a level deeper, because knowing what business you're in is important, but knowing what business you're really in is really important. And so what business am I really in? Like, what does it mean? What does it mean? And so I wrote down for 1A, what business am I really in? That I help people enjoy their lives and their relationships at the highest level, and I show people what's possible. If you've been to my website, you'll see that I wrote that under my name, let me show you what's possible. And then question 1B is, no, really, what business am I really, really in? And so one more level deeper at least. And you can do this and go as deep as you want, but it's important to answer the question and then ask it again. That's the nature of that question 1. What business am I in? And so on the third one I wrote, I'm in the fulfillment business. I think that most people aren't fulfilled, and I think that being fulfilled is an important thing to have in your life. Maybe that kind of goes without saying, but most people don't live that way. So a few years ago, I decided that if I was gonna be here, I might as well be all here. And that's what this whole thing is about. That's what my life has been about. Not that that was an overnight thing, but I've been kind of working up to it. And now with this group and this time, this COVID and all this thing, it's really coming out for me now. And I know and I understand that I'm not meant to be here to be some half-assed human being just wandering around with my eyes closed half the time. I'm meant to be all here all the time, and so I'm a lot more driven than I used to be, and I'm getting more driven every day. And I really want to help others to open their eyes and to open their minds and to help them become more fulfilled. So I'm in the fulfillment business. So question 2 is, why did you get into the business you're in, and why are you in it now? And so, well, I learned about relationships and self-awareness because I was unfulfilled, and I guess I got into the business because I needed to make a career change, but I think that factor of being able to touch other people's lives is really important to me. and being able to help other people. I don't think in my other career that I really felt like I was doing that as much. I always felt like I had more to give. And so question 3 is, who are you? Who is your client? And what does your client need? And so I got to do some work on those questions. And question 4 is, where are you in the economy, in the industry, in your company? How do you need to prepare for the next season? And so it's important to know that this, well, I'm talking about as a business, but even if you work for someone else, I think these exercises are important. I've always believed that as individuals, we're all individual corporations, as it were. Even if you work for a company, I always liked to think of myself as being a company that was hired by a company, if that makes sense. And so and having that belief always made me a better employee. When I worked at a company, it made me more accountable to my own actions and to my own performance. And question 5 is, what's next? So that is Force 1 of Business Mastery. I am going to put the link to the 7 Forces of Business Mastery, and it's really just like an introduction to Business Mastery for you guys. Tony does like a whole week program on this, and in a live event, and though I haven't been to it, I would like to someday. It would be something. So okay, so the RPM, I think I might have a link for that too. So the rapid planning method and the 7 Forces of Business Mastery, this is how I'm going to guide my business and career going forward from today. All right, so that's all I've got for Business and Career Tuesday. And next week, I'm going to be a lot happier about Business and Career Tuesday, I promise. All right, talk to you tomorrow.